everyone, this is Ruchira. I'm a physical therapist here at Breakthrough, and today's topic is hip strengthening and activation exercises. So a lot of times when I see my patients and I test their hip strength, I see that they test out really strong in their hip muscle, but when I have them do like functional activities like squats or stepping up a step, I feel like they're not engaging their muscle. So what happens is there's a difference between strength and activation. You may be really strong in your muscles, but when you're actually doing any activities, if your brain doesn't know how to fire a muscle, it's actually going to put a lot of strain on your joint. So today I'm going to talk about some of my favorite hip strengthening exercises. Hip strength is really crucial because if you're having knee pain, foot pain, it all can stem from a weak hip muscle. So let's go over some of the fun hip strengthening exercises. Alrighty, the first exercise here that I'm going to show, it's called the hip abduction exercises. It's a very simple exercise. You must have seen a lot of people doing this in the gym area. I'm just going to show you the right way to activate the gluteus medius muscle, and I'll show you some of the common mistakes that people do when they do these exercises. So you're going to go on the floor, and in this what I want your bottom shoulder to touch against the wall. Your top shoulder is touching against the wall. You want your heel of the bottom knee touching the wall. You want your pelvis stacked on top of each other. Then what I recommend is the top leg, it goes all the way back to the wall. And then, so when you do that, you consciously put your hand on this muscle here, you squeeze it, you engage that muscle, then have your toe facing up, the ceiling. When you have your toe facing up, make sure you are not rotating back, okay? So you're really close to the wall, you turn your toe up, and then you're going to keep your heel in the plane of the wall. And again, put your hand on this muscle. Do like a set of 8 or 10 or till you feel like a good burn in this muscle. So I consciously focus on activating this muscle, and then you're going to feel a nice, good burn. Some of the mistakes that people do when they do this exercises, they'll get their foot in the front and do this. So that is activating the front of the hip. Another mistake that people do is they'll put the toes pointing down. So if your toes are pointing down and then you're lifting the leg up, again you're activating a different set of muscle. So if you want to activate the gluteus medius, you want to take your leg back, toes slightly turned out, and then work on getting a good burn and an activation. Second exercise that I really like, which engages the gluteus medius muscle, is a clamshell. You can do it with or without the band depending on how strong your muscle is. So with the band, what you can do is slide the band, have it just above your knee, and again I like to use the wall as a reference because it helps me get a nice alignment. If you don't have a wall, make sure that you're still aligned properly. So what I like to do in this, keep your spine nice and neutral. You want your bottom shoulder, your hip and the heel to be in one line. Knee should be bent around 90 degrees. Stick close to the wall. Make sure again your hip is forward and like the pelvis is facing forward. You don't want this to be rolled back. Keep this stacked and the motion is happening just at your hip. So again, keeping it here, put your hand on the muscle, and all you're doing, keeping your heels together, you're just lifting that top leg up. And again, keep going till you feel a good burn. Again, consciously work on squeezing that muscle and then engaging. If you're doing it right, you'll feel a good burn right a little bit at the back of the hip. So once you learned how to activate this muscle in a non-weight bearing position, and once you get really good hang of it, then you can progress to a weight bearing position and try to engage the muscle in more functional patterns like a squat or a lunge and stuff like that. So I'll show you how to activate this muscle in a squat position. So again, you can use a band. You don't have to use a band. You can start without the band as well. I'm going to put this band right above my knees, and then just watch my position. So what I want you to do is we're going to hinge at the hip. So if you watch me from the side, you want your rib cage and pelvis to be nicely stacked up, okay? And then you're going to hinge at the hip. So you want to keep your back nice and straight, nice and neutral. You don't want to arch your back, nor do you want to round the back, okay? So once you get this into position, you're heavy on your heels, then come back. So again, engage your core. So you want a good activation in your core muscle. You stay in this position. You push the band out a little bit with your left leg. You're going to load your left leg, and then you're going to translate your body to the right. Come back, and again, come here, and back. Okay. So when you're doing this, you'll feel a good burn on the side that's weight bearing. You'll also feel a little bit of a burn right here and then back. And once this gets easy, then you can work on actually walking side to side with it. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sometimes I do get patients who come to me and they'll tell me that what's the point of all these exercises? I really don't have time to do these exercises. Or sometimes patients will tell me that, why am I strengthening? I'm never going to have six packs like this person, or I'm never going to have hips like that person. My answer is simple. I would say that we are ourselves accountable for our health, so we got to find time for ourselves to do our exercises, because otherwise nobody can help us. Sometimes I feel like we set goals which we ourselves perceive as impossible to achieve, and then we are not motivated to try. My recommendation is set small fun goals that you can achieve, exceed them, and set the next level of goal. And before you know it, you'll be a rock star. And what I would say, we all are work in progress, we all are imperfect in some ways or the other, so it's never too late to start strengthening one muscle at a time.